Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we're doing a townie makeovers, which I really haven't done in, I want to say, over a year, if not more so. But it was a video that was requested for me to do again, so I was like, let me see who I can make over. And then I remembered about the new Caliente family, which I personally feel like they deserved better. Just the way they look just does not give me this is the Calientes. I'm glad that they did their skin tone changes, all that stuff, but I still feel like look-wise, they're just not giving me what they were giving in The Sims 2. And I just feel like the hair and the outfits could have been better. Like, I don't think that they suit them well enough, which also makes me want to do a CC-free version of them as well, just because I think I could make them look better, or at least look like themselves, if that makes sense. Because also I want to point out is when they were doing the concept art for the Goths and for the Caliente family and what they would look like later on, like once they did their revamp or whatever, like I'm pretty sure they showed Dina, and Dina doesn't look anything like the concept art. So I'm like, what happened? Like, did they just not know how to create what they were showing off or whatever? And I understand that it's concept art, which doesn't mean it's definitely going to be put into the game. But when you compare the two, you know, looking at Dina concept and Dina in game, it's like very different looks. I can't remember if they showed any of the other Calientes as well, but Dina's the only one that I specifically remember. Now, when I went into making them over, I didn't want to drastically change their features or anything of the sort. Like, I wanted to pretty much stay the same, do minor adjustments, and also fit into my personal sim style, aka, you know, minimizing the eye size because I want them to look a little bit more realistic instead of having the very large eyes that the Sims usually have. So I went ahead and did that. Now, as far as eye color, and that I look at it, because they all pretty much have green eyes from what I remember, and because of my CC default eyes, their eyes were a little bit of a darker green. And then when I wanted to go and change their eye color, I was using non-defaults because I ended up using the face paint slot, which is usually where I change their eye color. So I only had like a small assortment. I say that, but like there is a lot there, but a small assortment of eyes that I actually want to use, because not all the non-default eyes that I have in there that I particularly am fond of. I actually don't know how to get rid of a lot of them, so there's also a reason why they are there. But I found these green, so these are the ones that they have. I think I couldn't find like a darker green. There was one that was kind of like a blue green, but that's not really their eye color, so I guess I went with like the stark bright green eyes. Now, I actually literally love how Katrina looks. For me, she's always felt like an aunt as opposed to their mother, because she just doesn't fit into the story the way I feel like she should, especially with her supposedly being their mom. So to me, I just consider her an aunt living with Dawn in Dina and Nina's house, or maybe Dina and Nina moved in with them. It's either or. And then also, as far as look goes, you can definitely see a similarity as far as fashion and style between Katrina and Dina. And maybe that means that Dina got influenced by her aunt, because now that I think about it, maybe the scenario could have been that Dina and Nina's parents passed and then Katrina took them in and they've been living with her, and then Dawn came along and all that stuff. Like, obviously, maybe they were like teens and Katrina was a young adult at the time, and maybe that's how it worked out. But then again, Dawn, I think he's a young adult, right? I'm pretty sure. I don't think he's an adult. So when I was making my save file and I was editing the original Calientes, to me, I just picture Katrina as like a dominatrix type of situation. Like, she has like a hidden room in her basement or something like that. So she definitely has her own thing going for her, and I love that. So that's just how I think she'd be like, and I'm obsessed with her. Like, I actually love how she turned out, and I think she might be my do I have a favorite Caliente? Maybe Katrina might be. I don't know. I mean, I love all of them, to be honest, but she was the first one I did, which I was gonna skip doing Katrina first and go and do Dina and Nina, but then I was like, no, I need to do Katrina first, and let's just get that out of the way. And she turned out way better than I would have suspected for her to turn out, so I'm really happy about that. But I'm actually wondering, does anybody else like have a made-up story for Katrina? Or do you guys go along with the Sims 4 storyline of that's Dina and Nina's mom? Also, I don't know why, but for some reason, I think that Katrina and Nancy Landgrab would be beefing. Like, they would have drama. I don't know what it would be. Maybe regarding Jeffrey or something. Like, what if Jeffrey was like using Katrina's dominatrix services or something like that, and then Nancy found out? Like, that could be a scandal. Wait, that'd actually be so funny. Could you imagine Jeffrey being dominated by Katrina? Okay, maybe don't imagine that. I just thought about it, and that's so funny. Anyways, that's like, what am I I saying? Wait. Anyways, moving on. So, up next we have the one and the only Dina Caliente, which here's the thing. I sort of wish that the messiness that was involved in Sims 2 with her would be replicated in The Sims 4, which I mean, I can go ahead and replicate it all I want, but I wish it was already like in the story of her being with Mortimer and her being with Dawn and all that going on. But then again, I guess at that point in Sims 2, Bella was missing. So why not still have that ongoing relationship? Like, why is nothing as messy as The Sims 2 was? Like, Sims 2 is all drama. I think that's what we lack very much of in The Sims 4. Like, there's not much drama happening between households. That's why everything feels so plain, because like you go into these households and you look at their relationships, they're like underdeveloped. Like, it doesn't feel like anything's really going on within the worlds or anything like that. Like, no families are beefing, like nothing's really happening, which then at that point, just got to use your imagination or create the beef yourself. But I just wish there was more stuff like that going on, because I also think about The Sims 2 and how Cassandra was engaged to Dawn, but in The Sims 4, she's a teenager and Dawn's still a young adult. That's what doesn't make sense to me, is the different ages, because clearly they were around the same age in Sims 2, so what happened in The Sims 4? And then also Alex Goth just hasn't aged. Like, was a child in Sims 2 and he's still a child in Sims 4, but everybody else changed. Like, Mortimer aged down, so then he should be a toddler at that point. Basically, Sims 4 is on its own confusing timeline, so it's like, I guess, hard to make sense of it because nothing really aligns properly if you compare it to the other games. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, this is what my Dina looks like, and now I'm looking at her and her eye color. I think that might have been a green eye color. I swear when I was looking at it originally, it looked like more of a blue, which is why I didn't give it to her. But now that I see her with that, I feel like I like that better than the eye color that I ended up giving all of them. So I honestly might go back and switch it, but we'll see what I decide if they even get a change. But now we have Nina. So I think the one thing that I really like with the change is that Nina and Dina actually look like they're related, where as opposed to the original Nina and Dina, they just did not look like they were twins by any means. So there definitely are some plus sides to the changes that they've made to them. I did debate on whether or not I go in and give Nina and Dina specifically like different looks and everything as far as outfits and all that, but in my head, Dina always has her signature black dress, and then Nina always has her black halter top and then her pink cargo pants. Although I did go a little less casual with Nina just because I want to elevate her look a little bit. Although I do have some pants that I did try on her, which are kind of like baggier cargo pants that she could wear. But I went with like a pink skinny jean and then some heels, and I think it looks really good, especially the halter top. I think it was the first top I clicked on and I was like, okay, this is it, I'm using this. And then it all sort of came together, although I did struggle a little bit on the pants because there were some other ones that I was liking. Like, there were some that were like high-waisted and a little bit more flared at the bottom, but I ended up just doing the jeans. Also, I have their wiki pages open because I just wanted to look at some stuff. And I completely forgot that both Nina and Dina are alien sim hybrids because their grandfather, Nestor, he gave birth to their father, Flamenco, after being abducted and impregnated by Pollination Technician 7. But then I also read that the whole thing about Katrina, this year in June 27th specifically, that in an episode of Behind the Sims, it is heavily implied that Katrina is a clone made by Nina and Dina to represent their mother. But like, why wasn't this stated before? I mean, it's probably them just adding to the story because I feel like so many of us have been confused for years as to where she came from and like why she's here, which why did they clone her? Like, what is the reasoning behind that? Like, I want to know. Did they want to bring her for a specific reason? Or do they just want their mother back? These are just some of the questions that I have now that I found this out, because I didn't even know that that was a thing that was, like, shown or talked about. I don't know how they presented that information or what they did, because I don't think I ever watched that Behind the Sims thing. And now also looking at Katrina's little profile here, it does say that she has hazel eyes, so I think I'm going to do a little revision on their eye colors now that I see that. When looking over the footage for these makeovers, I recorded them each separately, and I spent the longest on Nina, which I'm surprised about because I felt like I would have spent less time on her for some reason. I think it ended up being like an hour and 10 minutes, and I want to say that probably most of it was me trying to figure out the perfect lip combo for her, because I wanted it to be similar to her Sims 2 lips, but then also not make it as bright. I wanted it to flatter her skin tone and everything like that. So I definitely spent a lot of time. I cut out a lot of footage from the video of me doing her lips, because I was like, I don't know if you guys need to watch every single lip combo that I've tried for her. But I also went in and changed Dina's later on as well, because for some reason I originally gave her a red lip, which I still think she looks good in, but she does have a nude lip in Sims 2, so I went in and did one that kind of suited her, which will be towards the end of the video. Because even when doing these makeovers, I still want to sort of pay homage to their old looks, which those are like ingrained in my head, and that's how I picture them. So I just don't see them any other way, and this is just my new version of them. And I've made them over in the past, which, let me tell you, I think my skills in Create a Sim have definitely developed, and I've gotten better CC over the years, so I'm just really happy with how they turned out. But next up we have Don Lothario, which I don't actually entirely mind his new look. I think it's pretty good. Compared to especially what we had from his original Sims 4 self, I think it's better overall. Even his outfit is much nicer than that red t-shirt. Yeah, I like the new Don better, although I haven't seen new Don or any of the new Calientes, new Goths, because the saves that I've been playing on are old saves, so I haven't seen any of the new people. I haven't had a new save in a very long time, so I haven't really seen them around. For my version of Don, I was going to try and do a similar outfit to like what he has in like Sims 2 and stuff like that, but I couldn't come up with an outfit that I liked. And so, I mean, the one he has, I don't mind. Still like a button-up shirt, but it's like open. I think it's from one of the kits. And then he has a pair of jeans, which are also, I believe, base game. So he has definitely a CC-free fit. I did find some CC pieces that I liked, but when I'm combining like certain tops and bottoms together, they just didn't work well, because I wanted him to have like an open shirt, like with his chest hair popping out. And thankfully I got that with the shirt that I picked, but it wasn't exactly the look I was going for. I don't know why. For some reason, when it comes to male Sims, I just struggle the most coming up with outfits for them. Like, actually, it feels like brain surgery when I'm doing their fits. And the thing is, I have some pretty good male CC in my game as well, but when I combine like certain tops and bottoms together, they just don't look right. And there were some tops that I really liked on him. It's just the swatches that it had, I wasn't a fan of. And like if there were like a solid one or something more simple, like there was like a white top with a button shirt over it and it was kind of like opened. It looked really good on him, but I couldn't imagine him wearing these certain patterns that they had. So I just completely skipped over it. And then there was an open top as well, but then it was like a tucked in shirt and it looked really awkward with some of the pants. So I just didn't know what to do. But the hair, I picked this one, like it was the first hair I picked, and it was the only one that I liked on him, and everything just came together. Like, this feels like Sims 4 Don Lothario to me now, and I would have my Sims date him. Like, even though I know he's a player and everything like that, I'd have them date, because he looks so good. I mean, in my opinion, I mean, I'm obviously biased because I made him. Well, I made him over, but you know. He's definitely the best Don Lothario that I've ever done, in my opinion. Truth be told, I did have a pretty good base to work with, and I just improved it a little bit. And that is pretty much a wrap for my Caliente makeover. I enjoyed the process of this, although it did take me a really long time to make them over in general, and get this video sorted for you guys. But I had so much fun, and I don't know who to do next. Maybe I'll do the Goths. I don't know, if you guys have any ideas of who should I do next, let me know in the comments. But that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you guys in a new video very soon. Bye, guys.